What's up, bitch? It's Shelly. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, what's up? I'm Shelly. Welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be launching a new series here on my channel that I'm going to be calling Beauty Basics, because as you guys might have noticed, the YouTube beauty space is now really full of a lot of super fun, super adventurous, very creative makeup looks by amazing artists. However, not everybody is at that skill level yet. So if you guys are someone who is new to makeup and you want to learn how to build a foundation of knowledge as far as makeup goes, then this is going to be the series for you. In Beauty Basics, I'm basically going to be breaking down everything about the basics of makeup that will hopefully give you a good foundation to build off of, and eventually you will be able to create your very own artistic masterpieces. So I'm going to link the entire Beauty Basics playlist in the description box down below and also in a card up here if you guys want to check out the other videos in this Beauty Basics series. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any more of these videos that I upload. You will get notified every single time and it will mean so much to me. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the basics of foundation, or more specifically, what I like to call your complexion system. So this is going to consist of your moisturizers, primers, foundations, concealers, and setting powders. They're all here to really essentially just perfect your complexion. So the first product in your complexion system is going to be your moisturizer. I personally feel like when your skin is really hydrated and nicely moisturized, your makeup lays so much better, it wears so much nicer, and it also just protects your skin from wearing all of this makeup throughout the entire day. It's gonna help keep it nice and hydrated. This is definitely a step in your system that I do not recommend skipping, because if you want that flawless look, you definitely wanna start with a nice, clean, moisturized base of a face. So the second product in your system is going to be your primers. There are a ton of primers on the market right now with their own individual purposes, and we can talk about that in a separate video. But for the purpose of this video, just understand that primers have two universal purposes no matter what the primer is. And number one, that is going to be able to help the foundation go over and apply to the skin so much nicer. And then the second purpose of a primer is to help your foundation last so much longer. Right now, and for me personally, I have a lot of texture problems, big pores, fine lines, so I like to use a pore refining type of blurring primer, and one of my favorites right now and always is going to be the Benefit Porefessional Primer. It's not too heavy, but it really does fill in those fine lines, fill in my pores, blur out any imperfections, and it makes my foundation just go over so smooth that it looks really freaking porcelain. So with primers like these, I like to press them into the skin instead of just rubbing them onto my skin, because I really want them to fill in my fine lines, fill in my pores, and just make everything look perfect. So I apply this to places where I have textural problems, such as around my nose, on my nose, my forehead, and in my T-zone, and then just right on my chin. Okay, so the third product in the system is basically what this whole system is based around, and that is going to be your foundation. That's why you guys clicked onto this video. So your foundation is essentially that. It builds a foundation for the rest of your makeup. It really helps perfect your complexion. It's there to remove redness, any discoloration, red spots, dark spots, pretty much anything that is flawed on your face. Your foundation is supposed to even it all out, make your skin look perfect, flawless, and yeah, it's a complexion perfecter. So when applying foundation, there are many types of ways to apply it. There are so many different types of brushes and sponges. I personally find that a makeup sponge that's nice and fluffy and soft is the best way to apply it. It leaves this really nice, beautiful airbrush look. It's very goof proof. It's very easy for beginners. So if you're very new to makeup, I highly recommend using a makeup sponge. However, if you are somebody who prefers brushes, I prefer to use something like this, a flat top kind of dense stippling kabuki kabuki brush. I find that these work so much better than those flat paintbrush looking brushes. But overall, I'm a huge fan of makeup sponges, and I just think they are incomparable to anything, and I highly recommend checking those out over brushes. So when I apply foundation to my face, I like to work in sections because it gives you time to really work on one section at a time and perfect the way that that looks so the other side doesn't start drying all splotchy. So I like to dot it across one section, which is just one of my cheeks, and then I take my sponge and I kind of just dab it across in sections, making sure that everything is nice and even. Then after doing one cheek, I move on to the next cheek, and then I move on to the forehead. It's also really important to remember to blend down and out around the neck just so it doesn't look like you're wearing a mask. I don't put any extra foundation on my neck. I just use whatever is left over on the sponge. That way it's more of a gradient blended look. And I also do kind of blend out onto my ear as well because I don't want lines right in front of my ear looking like I just got a facelift. This technique always makes my foundation look really natural and really flawless. Moving into the fourth product in your complexion system, this is going to be your brightening concealers. These are the concealers that you see people apply to underneath their eyes. This is really just going to help brighten up your eyes, brighten up your complexion, and overall just give you some dimension to the face. An affordable concealer that I actually really like is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. This is affordable for new people who don't want to spend a lot of money on makeup, but it wears really pretty and it wears really long. So with this, I like to just dot it underneath my eyes, concentrating towards more of my waterline and less of my cheekbone. I personally don't love drawing big, thick triangles on, and if you're new to makeup, that could get really messy. So avoid doing that for now, and I recommend just applying a few dots and then blending it outward using the pointy part of any makeup sponge that you buy. So after blending out the concealer using the pointy end of my makeup sponge, I like to flip it around and use whatever leftover foundation is on this end to kind of just blend in the edges of this concealer over my cheekbone, just to ensure that it is a solid gradient and that everything matches and looks like regular skin. So now we are on the last product of a complexion system, and that is going to be a setting powder. In this video, we're not going to be talking about baking. That could be for another video on its own. We're just talking about setting powders and setting your foundation. So I personally like using this Rimmel Stay Matte because it works really well, and it also is a super cheap staple that has been in my makeup collection for years. So if you are new and again want to save money, I highly recommend this one. So using a setting powder is something you should definitely not skip because this is going to lock in all of that liquid makeup that you just put on your face. It's going to help it wear so much longer, and it's just going to overall just seal it in, and don't skip this. You definitely need it. So when setting your foundation, you want to use a nice fluffy powder brush. So go ahead and dip this into your setting powder, and then don't sweep it across your face, but instead start from the central points such as your nose and under your eyes, and just press your brush lightly across and work your way outwards and around until everything is nice and set. If you find that your setting powder makes your face look a little bit too powdery or a little bit too dry, a little trick that you can use is grab some rose water. I like to use this Mario Badescu rose water spray, and I just like to spray this across my makeup sponge on a clean section and then just dab that across your face to kind of melt that powder in and melt away that powdery look, and you're gonna look nice. So that pretty much covers all of the products and how to apply them in your complexion system. If you guys want to learn more on how to apply your blush, your bronzer, contour, and highlight, go ahead and click this card up here, or the link will be in the description box down below for that video. If you guys like this video and this new series, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions or requests for videos to be involved in beauty basics, definitely leave them in the comments down below because I'm really excited to help you guys learn. And if you guys haven't done so already, don't forget to click subscribe, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any more of these videos. And of course, just like always, until next time, bye bitch.